McKinley, Fowler, USF is directly across the street. The USF campus lays literally feet away from this hotel complex. Over here you can see it's a Holiday Inn. This is the portico right here where the shooting happens. What you will see in this evidence is that these shooters arrive here and they come in and they go around the north side of that complex as Mr. Jones is sitting here at the portico with two other cars full of his friends and partygoers, people celebrating. His girlfriend was in the other car. He was a passenger. His friend Xavier Edwards was driving. His longtime friend Gino Norris was in the back seat. They pull in. The shooters come in this way. They go around. They come down here. And they park in this area here. And then they act on foot. And they come around here, surprising Mr. Jones. You saw Mr. Jones' car try to evade the shooting and go this direction. He goes straight up here. There is no road here, but they make a road in their desperate efforts to get away. They go right past this dumpster, and the Charger ends up here. This is Mr. Jones arriving. He's been out celebrating, you'll find in the evidence. That is Mr. Jones with that open passenger door. The vapor you're seeing is coming out of the hotel. That's some type of a dryer vent. Mr. Jones in the red stocking cap pulling up his shorts. He walks in the hotel. As you can see on the timestamp, which is slightly off by a few minutes, this is about 4:30 in the morning. They had been out through the night. They had gone to a couple of clubs. Mr. Jones appeared at one club and performed, and then he went to an after party at another club. He had attempted to make a reservation here, but because they appeared so late, it had been given away. You'll see him come back and get into his car. Video slightly sped up here. That car entering right there, that's the assault team. And as I said, they go northbound around the north side. They avoid driving near this entourage, Mr. Jones and his friends. This Nissan Altima that's pulling up is part of the entourage that was with Mr. Jones. The driver, Tafa McCrae, is a friend of his. You will see his girlfriend get out. And they go inside of the lobby to use the restroom. So Tafa and his girlfriend, Aaliyah Albritton, they walk in to the lobby, and they're actually inside there in the bathroom when the shooting happens. Now, you probably didn't see it, but when Tafa got out of the driver's seat of that Nissan Altima, Camilla Bentley slid right in behind him. That's another friend of Mr. Jones and friends with these folks. She's sitting in that car at the time of the shooting. She takes her round through the arm. This car driving by That is the spotter car. That is the surveillance and reconnaissance vehicle. This is just before the shooting happens. And you're going to see that car come right back by. It goes down, does a three-point U-turn, and comes back. And now we're mere seconds away from the attack on the Charger, on the attack on Mr. Jones. You'll see the Chevy Cruze go southbound on McKinley. Down to the lower left, you saw the shooter with the automatic Glock. That's him in the lower part of the photo. So you see in this video, Xavier Edwards desperately trying to get them out of harm's way. But what he didn't know was that up on the top of that screen between that, I think it's a Mercedes and that yellow car, was the third shooter. So what he ended up doing was driving and you'll see it come to fruition here, directly into a vortex of high-powered rifle fire. Now, what you're also going to find in the evidence, and you can see the electrical charging station up here in the upper right, this is the edge of a Tesla that's sitting at another Charger. That Tesla has its, I believe it's called Centurion function on, and it is recording from multiple cameras around the car. And this is one of the recordings. You'll see several in the evidence that picks up the third shooter running down behind that row of cars and taking up position by that yellow car. He is the shooter on the other side of the street that forms that deadly vortex of fire as the Charger goes by. And as the Charger, you will see in the evidence, runs down the side trying to escape down the side of the hotel, this shooter comes running up to this position by the charging station and is opening up fire down the west side facing north of the Home to Suites. That is the headlights of the Charger fleeing up the west side of the hotel, heading north. The third shooter. That's the Charger at the impound lot at the Tampa Police Department. You can see the impacts. Every one of those yellow stickers on the hood, the side, and the windshield are all impacts. That's the Altima that Camilla Bentley was sitting in. It took 2 rounds to the back window. This is Xavier Edwards, who was the driver of the Charger. That's him at the hospital. Gino Norris, Mr. Jones' friend, who was in the back seat. He was shot in the upper right arm. And Camilla Bentley, who was shot in the upper arm. These were the other partygoers. Armani Turner is Mr. Jones' girlfriend at the time. Miss Randolph, her friend. Robert Howard is an associate friend of Mr. Jones, who was in The car behind the Charger, which was a Hyundai. Tafa McRae and Aaliyah were the ones in the Altima. You could see in that video that these gunmen acted with suddenness, they acted with speed and fury, and they brought overwhelming firepower. Not one shooter, not two shooters, but three to create that vortex that the evidence proves to you, with high-powered AR-style rifles and a fully automatic Glock 19, bringing all of that firepower to bear in a concentrated area easily, and rapidly, establishing not fire superiority, but fire supremacy, the evidence will show. Firing, as you saw in that last photo from the Tesla video, with absolute impunity and disregard of anyone that may be in that area. The majority of that fire you will find in this case was funneled directly into the passenger compartment of the Dodge Charger. And every single one of the rounds that were fired that night, every single one of them was dripping with the hatred, the malice, and the premeditated intent of all five of those conspirators. The evidence will prove to you. Mr. Jones attempted to evade the gunfire. He was leaning up against the dashboard. You may have seen in that photo, on those videos, but you'll see it during the trial. Look for it. His feet are up on the dashboard. He's leaning back. He's on his phone. The evidence will show trying to find a hotel, trying to find lodging for them. He barely has time to pull his feet down. The evidence will show he attempted to jump into the back seat, to go through and across the center console. Before he could do that, one of these rounds smashed into his chest, and that round tore through his heart, through his lungs, and through the largest vein in the body, the aorta, a gigantic artery that supplies blood up and down your body. And when he turned and kind of flipped over to try to crawl into the back seat, he took two more rounds to his back. Those rounds ripping through not only the muscles of his back, but into his liver. These shooters, as you've just seen, leveraged surprise. They leveraged it in this attack to make sure that Mr. Jones didn't stand a chance, to make sure he couldn't evade this attack. Not this time. This time he was going to be killed. They took full advantage of this ambush that they had planned. And you saw in that evidence the determination of these shooters, the assault team in this conspiracy. They didn't stop firing when the Charger went through that vortex. They kept firing all the way up the side of the hotel as the Dodge Charger fled, almost a block away. That last shooter you saw in the Tesla video, opening up fire, rapid fire. And as I said, firing with impunity. This was a perfect ambush spot because Mr. Jones' car was stuck. He couldn't go backwards because his girlfriend's Hyundai was behind him. To the left was a parked car next to the beams of the portico. On the other side was the hotel. A hotel. And on the other side of the wall in the glass of that hotel was high-density humanity. That didn't stop these killers. That didn't give them any pause for concern. You're going to see in the evidence impacts around that portico, numerous windows that are blown out in the front of that hotel. And not only in the lobby and in the front of the hotel, up and down the west side of that hotel, impacts. Impacts through windows that coursed through hotel rooms where people were sleeping, families. That hotel was packed with people. Parents there with their student children that were there for orientation at USF. People were there with their small children here in Tampa sightseeing.